Okay, let's knock apart some pens. So this is a knockout block, fancy term for something with holes in it. Got me a little hammer here. Got me some sections and feeds that are dry. These have not been cleaned. It's my first time doing this, so I wanted to start with like my worst case scenario, nasty old stuff that, horrible. So even rubber sack still stuck to it. So got a little tube here, a hole at one end so it could go around any breather tube or anything on the inside. Solid at the other, make sure it fits. Find me a little spot on here that best matches up and supports that section. I want to make sure, and this is actually for sizing the rubber sacks, but 3D printed a little base for it, the metal plate. Now it's a knockout block. People can use anything with holes in it. You could make your own, find something. Basically, you want to support the section as best you can. So you can put a little rod in here, give it a couple of little love taps. Don't hit the camera. Okay. And I've never done this before. Well, that kind of moved things a little. All right, let's give it another go. And, don't go crazy. Don't beat the snot out of it. See what happens. It might just pull apart. There we go. So again, these are dry, haven't been soaked, haven't been ultrasonic, haven't been cleaned, not in bad shape. But ink can act like a glue and hold it all together. There can be some nasty still in there. So, it is best to soak these. Just be careful if it's hard rubber or casein, it can swell or discolor. I should probably find a rod that's a little bigger for some of these bigger guys. Get a little more support. I do like that this is hollow to go around any kind of breather tube or nubby or something that might be in there. And, well, that one doesn't want to move. Well, food moved a little bit. All right. And you can kind of feel the rod move in your fingers, so you know when you're almost there. Nope. Not real keen on just hammering this all the way through the table. There we go. Still enough ink to kind of hold. There we go. Hold that nib in there. Look how dirty that is. Ah, look at all the junk under there. So again, should be soaked in pen flush. Should be run through the ultrasonic. I wanted to make my first time learning to do this on totally dry, worst case scenarios. Just get an idea. Never having done this before. Little guy. All right. Let's see how much work this one takes. Doesn't really fit in there. Huh. All right. Well, let's see. Maybe. Doesn't really work if I can't get the tube in. Or I could just pull it apart. I can't. Much easier if these had been soaked in pen flush and run through the ultrasonic. That probably would have slid right apart. But hey, I'm here to learn. Here to take you along for the ride and watch my fails and follies here. A little better support there. Okay. Huh. Some crusties. Something yummy in there. I got a light. There we go. One of my little loot guys has got a... Oh yeah, there's chunky yummies hiding in there. Dried ink. So dumb not to have soaked these already and run them through the ultrasonic. I mean, that's literally asking for trouble. There's no reason to be dealing with nasty dried up ink on this. Oh, that feels crunchy. I can even feel it as I hammer. There's crunchy, yummy junkies in there. Yeah, look at that. It's ready to be instant ink. That's not even thinking about moving. Yeah, this is just silly. I marked the hammer. So, yeah. There's no, I'm basically mining my way through dried up rocks of ink. So that one's going to get liquid. All right. So this was pure ultrasonic. Already had one nib in there. Threw another one in. Just running through the ultrasonic. Usually I change the water like every 15-30 seconds so I can basically see when it's not putting out any more ink. You can overdo it with an ultrasonic, especially if it's a heated one, or if you have any little fragile parts on there, metal rings, little clutch stuff like that. You just don't just throw everything in the ultrasonic. Kind of stop and think about it. Normally, pure water. There you go. Pen flush and the ultrasonic. These are all junk feeds, so no going in. Like, none of this is probably worth saving, but it's definitely worth practicing on these before I try anything that's really good that I'm going to care about. Most of these nibs are not even iridium tipped. They're just where they bend it, the end of the nib over. Ooh, let's see, come on. Well, I kind of know. All right, one more whack. There we go. And there's still a lot. Oh, yeah. And that's just pure water and ultrasonic. Still gunky journey. Yeah, dirty under there. And then a couple of these feeds might be worth saving around for some other project. Now, this is pen flush run through the ultrasonic. Pen flush is basically 9 parts distilled water, 1 part ammonia, a couple of drops of dish soap in whatever, depending on how bulk a container. Try to minimize your dish soap. There's still some. That one's nice and clean inside. Yeah. You don't need a ton of dish soap. It's more about the ammonia and the water. And then make sure you clean it off really well before you would put ink through something that you'd run pen flush through. Just straight water. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That just popped right apart. It's amazing when you do things right, how much easier it is. And they're still, oh yeah. Yeah. Doesn't mean these are perfectly clean. Now that they're apart, could do another cleaning cycle to get all that old junking. But you can see even after pen flush and ultrasonic, I think I've got one more hiding. There you are. Where are you? There you are. And let's see what we got. Yeah. It's always nice to look inside and see if you've got any kind of little breather tube, anything important that you don't want to destroy just by sticking your metal rod in there. People have used the backside of drill bits. It is nice if it's a hollow tube in case there is something inside there that's important. Again, make sure your section is supported. Ooh, come on. Yeah. And let's see how much force it takes to get this nib. Wow, that's still stuck. Oh. Just to give you an example, like normally I wouldn't put that direction of force on and bend the nib. That just to show you how sticky dried ink can be. All right, look at that. We used a knockout block and we knocked out some sections.